Yeah, we definitely do give them the respect that they deserve. They great team. You saw what they did last week against Australia. Australia, who beat us this year. That game was very close. And we have a lot of players who play in Japan, and they've been able to let us know, about the players that are playing tomorrow and the kind of players that they are. So we've done a lot of prep. We were very prepared for this game. And yeah, we want to start off our tour strong, and we don't see it as a warm-up game at all. It's a special day for all of us having an opportunity to put on the Springbok jersey, and excited for Zach too, for who's getting this first test tomorrow. So we want to make it special for him as well. The first thing was the one that we played as this group, because in 2015 it was completely different, different group and different mindset. But what we've learned is that we need to be who we are as South Africans. We have to dominate the game physically, and also we have to control the breakdown because they play fast rugby. And we saw when we played in the quarterfinal where it was close until that Mo try that he scored. They don't go away. They're a very fit team, and they're very well structured, and they know their system and they know who they are. So it's all about who can impose the way they play, and I think that's the most important. Also, we can't try to play like them. We are who we are, and we are good at what we do. So I think that's really important. Is who's going to stick to the game plan and enforce into the other team.
Yeah, no, Ross, it wasn't a tricky week. It was actually a normal test week for us because everyone was here since Monday morning, so we didn't miss any sessions, we didn't miss anything in our program, and like Siya said, we've prepped like we always do with any other team. We gave them their respect because you saw what happened last week when they played against Australia. They've lost by 4 points, played very well-organized team, and they've also got a good coaching staff, so we know it's going to be tough, and I know a lot of people, they always focus on their size, but for me, I look at their heart, how they play the game, how physical they climb in, and they don't stand back for anyone, So that's going to be a key thing for us. We will have to make sure that we pitch well in the game, execute our plan very well, and then I know it's going to be a tough one. They also want to win, but once again, like Siya said, we also want to have a good start for our tour. It's going to be a long tour, which is a tough one, but I think you can't ask for any better team, than Japan. They well coach team. Eddie Jones with Victor Medfield over there probably is going to teach some of the Japanese guys some Afrikaans words, So it's going to be a tricky one. But once again, like I said, I think on our side also we've got a couple of players that are playing in Japan. They understand their players very well. And then we've also went through deep into their profiles because they've got very dangerous backline players, So yeah, it's going to be a tough one. But once again, I think it's been a great week for us prep-wise. And yeah, we're ready for the game.
Asikwazi ujonga like le besithetha no coach Stick into ebalulekileyo ukuthi le match seyidlala kule weekend, because if sojonga phaa seke sazenza ezompazamo ngelinye ixesha sijonge iigame ezizayo silibale eziphambi kwethu, and sifundile kakhulu kuloo nto. iJapan ibalulekile kakhulu for thina, siqale ngabo. Ezinye siyazibona emva kaloo nto, and if ibingabalulekanga le game ngesingatreyinanga ngomvulo, because sifike ngomvulo apha saya straight etraining because besiyazi uba ibalulekile kakhulu le game.
Ukhumbule kaloku into esiyithethayo singabaqeqeshi ne-players uba igame yethu sisafuna uyidevelopha siyikhulise kakuhle, and ubonile indlela esitarte ngayo isizini yethu. Saqala kaslow kakhulu ngabe e-Ellis Park, uzukhumbule kodwa nango sasiluza against i-All Blacks Auckland, yabona. But since then I think sikwazile uzijika izinto, yabona, sakwazi uimprovisha indlela esifuna udlala ngayo noko since then. So into ebalulekileyo ukuthi we did make sure uba last 5 games to make sure that we finish strong. But eyona nto ibalulekileyo ilo mdlalo wangomso weJapan, njengoba besisitshilo ke ba noko siyinikile imbeko yayo nayo, siyaprepare kahle zonke into zikhaluzenza irrespective of sidlala ne-All Blacks okanye sidlala ne-England. Senze the same thing when it comes to i-prep zethu against ulungiselela iJapan. So wetata man kubalekile ukuthi sithi make sure uba le tour sizayiqala kahle phaa kule match eJapan. I think izawukwazi usinika i-confidence going forward. Otherwise eyona ibalulekileyo yangomso umdlalo bhuti. I think, Stevie, the key thing for us is our standards, how we want to play the game as a Springbok team. And, we take pride in how we operate when it comes to set pieces, and we take pride in how we kick the game, in our kicking game, and we take pride in how we defend, So irrespective of who we're playing against, I think that's the key thing for us. We need that good foundation to be able to probably later on in the game get opportunities if you're looking for more tries. But otherwise, the focus for us in this game is to make sure that we start with a good intent and to make sure that physically we pitch up. You know, a team like Japan, if you're not at your best again, they've got players that are dangerous to punish you. So the key thing for us, irrespective of the conditions, the chances that it might also rain and be wet. So once again, I think the key thing for us is to make sure that we've got a good foundation when it comes to our set pieces and also playing in the right areas. That's going to be our main focus, yeah. Because of, once again, if you look back again, 2019, what these guys have achieved, they've beat teams like Ireland when they're playing at home. They've beat Scotland. I don't want to go too far on 2015 of what happened, when they played against us. But I know one thing for sure, because of Eddie Jones is there as a coach, they will also draw inspiration from that game. They will talk about it probably the whole week. But once again, for us, it's all about what we can achieve tomorrow. So if we can start well and put them under pressure, more especially with our set pieces, I think we'll probably have a good chance to maybe get good results at the end of the day. I think once again, if you look at his record and you look at where he's been with his rugby career as a coach, he's been to South Africa. He understands our DNA. He understands how we operate, so he knows the right buttons to press when it comes to motivating his players, and you've heard already him talking about a win in Wembley will be something special for their boys. So I know one thing for sure, with his experience, he knows the right buttons where to press, and a lot of those Japanese guys, they play for him, so yeah, once again, he's a very experienced coach, and then once again, if you look around in his coaching staff, he's got so experienced guys that also understands probably some of our players, because if you look at Gary Gold, probably has coached some of our Bulls players, coached some of the guys from the Stormers, and Victor Medfield, who's played with some of the players that we've got here in our team. They actually understand our DNA. So irrespective of that, with that being said, we know we still have to make sure that we pitch up well. But again, when it comes to Eddie Jones, probably his experience and when it comes to his mind games, he knows what to say. He knows the buttons to press. So, but once again, we will probably have to be at our best tomorrow to win that game. For me as a coach, the first time I saw him when he was playing junior Boks and he was a captain, I've never doubted that he's going to go far with his career. At school, he's a head boy. That shows that he's got proper head over his shoulder. To be able to lead the junior Boks, it shows that there's something in you. So I've never doubted him since the first day I saw him with the junior Boks. And then when he came on in our camp, and the nice thing about the environment where we are, it's guys that are helping each other. Thomas has been there helping him, and as one of our experienced players, and the guys around him are supportive, and also I think the message that came from the coach, there's not really that much pressure on him. I know it's a special moment for him and his family, but I think the boy, he's just been good this week, the way he trained full out. Yes, probably he's going to make mistakes there and there, but the thing is, when it comes to his effort, what he has showed on the training fields, he's been massive for us, and I wish him all the best, and probably his family should be proud of him at that age, for a tight head. Imagine how many games he'll probably play, as a tight head. If you look at a guy like Frans van Lerwe, since he has joined the Springboks, he was one of the specialist tight heads in the world. I see potential in Zek also, So one thing that I like about him is his maturity at a young age. He's got good leadership skills at a young age. That means that's something that can help him, that will take him far in his rugby career. So I'm excited to see what he can do. And also, if you look at how we've selected the team, having Malcolm Marx, one of the best hookers in the world, having Oxlade, who's probably the best loose head prop in the world, and the surroundings around him, I think we've got the right personnel to support him. So I know one thing for sure, for him, he doesn't have to stress tomorrow, because I know even his teammates around him, they will probably be there to support him. I think, Zain, if I look back into the history of what Japan has achieved, I think few things that us as coaches that we pick up. I don't think some teams, they really give them the respect they deserve. I don't think they understand their strengths. I don't think they really go into their DNA and understand, If you think you're just going to focus on how we want to play and not go through into what makes them special, then I think that's the biggest mistake some teams are doing, And you saw last week, probably it was pound to pound because of the style of play that Australia also wanted to play, which is similar to what Japan are doing. So that was the key thing for us, is to make sure that we go deep into their DNA. And then that's one thing that we've done this week. We understand their players very well. We understand their strengths, more especially if you give them the quick ball. Siya spoke about they want to play this fast rugby, and so that's a key thing for us, is that we must make sure that we don't allow them, because once you give them opportunities where they can play off the quick ball, then that's where they are dangerous. So, yeah, the key thing for us is to just make sure that we start well, in a sense of being physical in the game, pitch up, try to put them under pressure on set pieces, then we'll see and take it from there. Otherwise, I know one thing for sure, it won't be an easy game. Like I said to you, I think Eddie Jones, with his experience, he knows the right buttons to press, And I'm being honest also, if I was on the other side in that changing room, I'll probably also say the same message, to play against the Springboks, you have to make sure that you pitch physically, Then you'll probably have a chance to stand, to have good results in the game. So I'll probably would have done the same thing. But like I said to you, with his experience and how he plays his mind games, So once again, like I said to you, he's got a good reference point when it comes to that. He has done it in the past with Japan. So a lot of those guys will get motivation from the past, So, yeah, we just need to make sure that we pitch up tomorrow. That's the key thing for us. They will be physical. They will probably also look for opportunities. But, yeah, again, I think this is key for us also to make sure that we start well for the end of the tour.
One of the toughest days for us, but we learned from it, as is some of the players that are here, obviously. And we still think that group did well. It was obviously disappointing, but obviously we didn't do the kind of detail and looking into them like we do now. And in this day and age, like we didn't know half of the players because we didn't play in Japan. Mm-hmm. And players like JP knew who they were and what they could add, and a lot of us didn't know. But I think we learned a lot from that. But the team still was able to go to the semi-finals in that. But it just shows a lot how rugby has changed and how much detail and how much knowing the opposition really makes it different to us as a team now. I think, we're in a far better place than we were back then. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, well, I hope the people do come. It's our first time playing at Wembley, and it's always special to see South Africans come and see us. And I know how important it is for them, especially people who can't go home a lot, who moved here for work, how they feel that love and connections for home, and they also get to see other South Africans. But yeah, I think it's going to be special. And I know Japan also have a lot of supporters, and they travel a lot. We see them also when we play in our games in URC. There's a lot of Japanese people that come and watch the game. So I can see that rugby is growing big in Japan, and the way we saw it in 2019 was really special. Like to see people, when we walked into stores, because we came a couple of weeks early, and all our faces were all over Japan. How the whole country just bought into that. So yeah, I know they will have a lot of support coming out here today. They're not there to prepare us for France. They're there for us to be prepared and be ready for them. Our mentality has never been... I haven't had a coach once this week tell me that you have to think of this because of the next week we're facing. We're giving Japan the respect that they deserve, because if we think like that, we're going to end up like it happened in 2015. So we don't think of anything further than Japan, and that's why if this wasn't an important game, we traveled here on Monday. We trained on Monday. When we got off the plane, we came here, waited a couple of hours and went to training. Because we know, we'll be fools if we don't learn from what happened in the past. Even when we played in 2019, it took us about till half-time, and we got them all try. That's who they are, and that's why coach said some teams don't give them the respect that they deserve, and they get a shock when they get on the field.
The game we're playing tomorrow, it has nothing to do with... I know we've got a long tour, but it has got nothing to do with France and Ireland. Like Siya said, this is a test match for us. And like I said, the biggest mistake probably some teams don't do is to give these guys their respect. So everything that we've done this week, we didn't even touch France. We didn't even show a clip of France. We didn't even talk about France. So everything that we have done on the week was to make sure that we are ready to play against Japan and make sure that we have a good start for the tour. So that's a key thing for us. And then we'll probably from Sunday start going into France. So yeah, that's a key thing for us. And again, like we always say, for us is we always want to play for our people back in South Africa. In London, Zayn mentioned now it's like a home away from home. With a lot of Southers here, and it's been good for us. Every time we come to Twickenham, there's always a lot of South Africans that are supporting us. So I think at the moment, yes, we are in a good space in a sense of playing here. And hopefully tomorrow we'll also get a lot of supporters. And then also on the other side, with our cricket team that are playing finals also, the ladies, and I've been following them very, very well, Sometimes it's hard to believe when I see a lady like de Klerk when she bats, the boundaries sometimes same as the gentlemen's, but those ladies, they clear those boundaries, And to see our South African teams performing like that, Bafana have qualified for the finals, for the World Cup. Then you've got the ladies now that are going through to the finals. It's something special for us as a country. So yeah, wish them all the best. And I know it's going to be a tough one, but while we still got a Marazan Cup there, I think we've got a good chance with those ladies.
These 2 games was de Klerk, and then Thames goes and hits 100, and then Laura, she's done so well. She's leading from the front. She's great on the fielding, but like her batting has actually been really amazing for her. It's for quite a couple of years she was like getting to 99 and not getting there, but now she's got it in there. But we just want them to do well, and they've already beaten India. I know a lot of people say it's hard because they've played them and they must just go. South Africa is breaking them, and I have no doubt they will do something special. The bowlers have good. Laba has been really amazing for the team. So everybody's pitching up when they need it. It's been such a great effort, and well done to your coaching staff as well. And now encourage South Africans, wake up, watch your ladies, support them as you did with us as well. Yeah, because the coaches have been good. Like, we've got new coaching staff. Coach Tony, who obviously came from Japan, he brought in a different way of attacking. So we've always got something new, and also rugby is changing. So the coaches are always coming with different ways, because people study us like we study them, and then they see how we play, and somewhere along the line they're gonna figure it out. And then the coaches are always coming with something else. But there's core things in our group that doesn't change, with physicality, set piece, our kicking game must be strong, and we're great. All those things don't change, so we've got big rocks, and then everything else changing. And then our team, our game is evolving and changing all the time. So we're always learning something new, and that's what keeps us the older guys, to keep on getting excited, is to know that, okay, there's a new thing that I must learn going forward this week, and that's been really good for us as players.